Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over 2 emails sent from 2 different subscribers. The first email is from a young guy. He is 24 years old, and he made the classic mistake of getting married way too young. And when I say way too young, I don't mean 24, which is way too young anyway. I'm talking about 22 years old, okay? And as you can probably imagine from the get-go, he realized that in no way, shape, or form is it what it is cracked up to be. It's not all sunshine and roses. And he's been married now, I guess, a year and a half or so. And he's obviously really unhappy, and he's looking for some guidance, not just from me, but also from you guys in the comment section that have been through this. You know, how to best go forward so he can get out of this and get on with his life, and obviously with these lessons that he's learned. And the second email is from a subscriber who's been watching me for a bit, and he's thanking me for the work that I do and how by me being here to help motivate guys by giving a good verbal kick in the ass is really good for men, because let's be honest here, men can be stubborn jackasses, and we all need a good kick in the ass every now and again, even I sometimes. So I'm going to go through the first email, guys, and see if we can help this guy out. So it starts off, "Hey SSM, I've been watching your content for a couple weeks now, and while you're not the first red pill, MG Tau, strong male type of channel I've seen, you're the first that seems the most down-to-earth, level-headed, real, and least jaded and burned by life and women. And that makes you the most approachable and sincere in my eyes." Well, thanks, bro. It's not an act, it's who I am. "Like I said, I'm a mid-20s guy and about to be 25 in 4 months. And it's making me think, trying to figure out exactly where I stand and where I want to go in life. I work for FedEx to deliver their packages, and it's probably the best job I've held on to as long as I have, paycheck-wise. I also just nabbed a part-time gig that is delivering pizzas, not the most grandiose job I'm aware, which I'm not unfamiliar with. And while I certainly enjoy the delivery aspects and it keeps me busy, it also gives me time to think. I notice more and more that I want to do more. I'm just not sure what. I know that I'd be perfectly satisfied with making enough to pay my bills, supporting my hobbies and addictions, being able to finally start on some new hobbies that have taken my interest." And he says metalworking, forging, starting a YouTube channel, or going to competitive tournaments for video games, taking up fencing as martial arts, etc. Now he goes in another part here, which I'm going to skip over and get right to the point of this thing. He says, "Finally getting to the subject matter at hand. All this thinking about my hobbies and goals has led me to thinking about my wife. My wife, now 30, and I have been married for a year and a half now. We met online 3 years ago, and I moved in about 6 months into the relationship." You're out of your damn mind. You're moving in with a girl you met after just 6 months, man. Come on. But again, he was young. And by the way, he says his wife is 30 and he is 24. So that's a big jump in terms of the age range there. It could definitely impact the dynamics. He says, "Yes, that's fast, and admittedly, there were some red flags as well too. I either ignored them or thought those were pretty much it. But as I've come to learn, these are red flags for a reason. Just a preset, I do love her, but I don't buy into this whole she's the one thing, even though she does. That's all bullshit. That whole the one thing, out of all the people on the planet, there's only this one person for you. That's the biggest bunch of crap ever. Sold by movies, television, romance novels, all the time. You'll hear people talk all the time about the one. I get into conversations with people and I say how it's bullshit and just appalls some people, but I'm not going to hide what I think. It's complete nonsense. If you do relationships, there's plenty of people that you're going to click with in this world that you can meet, not just one person. It's horseshit. It goes on. Just a preset, I do love her, blah, 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 blah. And he goes on, if she chose to walk out and leave, I wouldn't be too awfully upset. If she wants to leave, there's only a door to stop her. Hell, she threatened to leave me not even 2 months after we got married, as we were going through a rough patch, and struggling a bit more than we are now. As I was working one job that was barely paying minimum wage, and she was working one job that was paying minimum wage. Barely enough to cover expenses, and she was always frustrated that I wasn't stepping up as a man to either find more work or do more around the house. So, right then and there, first of all, why the hell did you get married when you were 22? You're out of your damn mind. And it's unfortunate this guy didn't have somebody a father, an older brother, an uncle to say you're too young, dude. Or maybe he has them, but they didn't tell him that because they don't know. Okay? Because a lot of people are clueless. Also, why'd you get married if you are barely making minimum wage and she's making minimum wage? Okay? One of the biggest causes of fights and problems in relationships, marriages, is money. So if you two aren't making shit, you're just begging for trouble. But I'm going to probably guess because I'm going to give this guy a little bit of a pass because he's young, but not her. She ought to know better, but some people have this nonsense idea that, love will find a way, or our love will get us through all this. No, it won't, because the second the electric bill comes in and you can't pay it, or you need to literally buy all these crappy brands of food because you can't afford the normal brands of food that you like, that love ain't going to find a way. Okay, love ain't going to make money magically appear in your bank account or in your safe or anything like that. Okay. So, big mistake there. And now she's giving him a good kick in the ass that he needs to man up and get a better paying job. And I'm actually okay with that because guys do need a kick in the ass. Okay? A lot of guys in this life they'll do just enough to get by, which you should not do. You should be always aiming to do better for yourself. Okay? And so I don't blame her for giving this guy a kick in the ass because now he's married and a man should be trying to do better for a situation. But she, being in the world about equality and all, she needs to be getting off her ass and doing something to get a better job as well that makes more than minimum wage. Okay, so she can't be giving him a hard time about it, and then she can get by and do a minimum wage job. Doesn't work that way. So that's one thing I'm okay with. But the nagging thing about things around the house, that goes both ways. And you don't need to give a guy a hard time about taking out the trash fast enough or any bullshit like that. Men have other things to worry about than the stupid trash or putting down the toilet seat or making sure the dishes are washed immediately after you eat. Little things like that. Just starting drama over nothing. He goes on. We made it through that, although I was very much jaded, and admittedly, I think I was close to being done with her. I felt that I couldn't trust her, and I felt numb to her. It was around this time that I found work with FedEx, and lo and behold, the stepping up as a man problem disappeared. See? Now it's just more house chores, nagging, or not getting the correct items, nagging, or whatever it be. Guys, women are always going to nag. Always. Always, always, always. So if you don't want that in your life, don't get married and don't move in with your girlfriend, okay? I don't care how wonderful it seems prior to you moving in. The second you do, all the great things that you once had are going to quickly go away. Trust me on this, okay? A lot of people think I'm very cynical and pessimistic and negative. I'm calling it as it is. And there are countless guys that watch me, that comment on my videos, have been through the same thing, and they know it, okay? But good for this guy for getting the job at FedEx. Good. Now I want to know, did she get a better paying job, or is she just hanging back and enjoying his earnings? He goes on. Before I got married, though, 2 years ago, around this time, she came out and said that due to her belief in God and her Christian values, that she believed that we should stop having sex because she believed that she had displeased God, as she had 2 major surgeries in the past few months and thought us having premarital sex was the cause of it. Oh, for God's sake. Because God was punishing her for having sex outside marriage. I stood up to her and said, if that's what you believe, then I won't follow you. Shocked, flabbergasted, can't believe that I said that. I continued and said that it wasn't a problem for you for a whole year. It wasn't a problem when the first time we met, we had sex. It wasn't a problem with your last 2 exes, and it wasn't a problem for 10 years of your life. So why is it a problem now? All of a sudden. I won't be disrespected this way, so either you get that bullshit out of your head now, or I'm leaving. 3 weeks of waterworks, but sex resumed as normal for a time. So, guys, that is the classic manipulation. The woman all of a sudden doesn't want to have sex anymore or anything like that, and basically for that reason, and that's usually to get the guy to move forward in the relationship, to put a ring on her finger or something like that. Is the classic manipulation. And a lot of guys that are weak and have a scarcity mindset and don't have a lot of options buy into this crap. Now, if she was like this before, if she was, let's just say, a virgin, or just decided she didn't want to have sex anymore, for whatever reason, religious reasons, I don't care what, Okay, that's one thing, okay? Everybody's entitled to their views and their faith and all that, okay? It's not how I live my life. That's not what I would do. But I'm just saying some people do that. So in that case, that'd be one thing. But the fact that they had been together for a while, obviously hooking up, and one day, magically, she says, I don't want to do it anymore because of God, that's a bunch of crap. That's pure manipulation. If it hadn't been a sign for him to get out of this a long time ago, right then and there, that's when he should have bailed. But he didn't, because he's young and he doesn't know any better. And he probably had a scarcity mindset and didn't think he could do much better. Shouldn't have done that. But good for him for standing his ground. But I want to point something out. In today's world, being things as they are, this guy's got to be really careful, because if things got bad, she could make that argument that he was coercing her, and you guys can connect the dots of what I'm trying to say here. So in that situation, you ever get that kind of nonsense or some kind of ultimatum like that, bail. Get out of there. You don't need it, because a romantic relationship, you're having sex. It's a healthy thing. Unless both people are, let's just say they're religious, and that's their religious faith, and they want to wait until they're married. Okay? If both people are on board, that's different. Okay? I mean, it's not what I would do, but everybody has a right to their own faith, their own beliefs. Okay? But they shouldn't be upset if other people don't go along with it. So I just want to point that out there. But classic manipulation tactic to get the guy to put a ring on a finger. He goes on, at this point in time, I'm just looking back at all this. I'm aware enough to know that we're both unhappy. Gee, you think? Is it because I'm not pulling my weight around the house, not doing as much as I possibly could? Perhaps. Is it because I don't tell her she's beautiful every day? Maybe. I'm certainly not the guy to show up with flowers randomly unless on some rare occasions. While I enjoy going out with her and taking her places and just driving and vibing with her, and I let her know with gifts and affection that I do care, love her, and pay attention to her, I don't see myself being able to pick up all these hobbies and things that I want to do with her at my side. I don't see her being with me as I pursue my goals, or try to make sense of them, or figure out and pick up these hobbies that I mentioned earlier. And she's threatened to divorce me 4 or 5 times at this point. So the guy's been with her for a year and a half, and before he's been married to her for a year and a half, she's been threatening to divorce him 4 or 5 times. Does this sound healthy to you guys? And of course, the other stuff he's mentioned, and before this, the whole sex boycott that she was going to do. I mean, this is a train wreck. Do you think this guy is going to be any happier in 5 years? No, it's going to get worse. And thank God this guy doesn't have any kids with her, which you're going to find out. He says, I'm thinking that I need to talk to a lawyer and ask for their legal advice. At this point, I don't even care if I have to pay her alimony. We have no children, and our sex life is low. I don't even care for it much anymore. I used to plead and beg and be all over her. No man should ever plead and beg for sex. Never. Don't ever fucking do that again. I don't ever want to hear that. Any of you guys, do you think that's going to show strength and masculinity to a woman if you're practically begging and pleading for sex? Guess who pleads and begs for sex? Pussies, weak men, beta males, blue pill guys, all those guys in that little category. Don't be that guy. After all the excuses and reasons why she didn't or couldn't, I just stopped initiating. If she wants it, she initiates. And part of me still doesn't want to hurt her. But I know that years down the line, one of us will finally wake up, walk out, and try to find some happiness. No, I'd rather get it done and over with. Well, that's the end of my essay and autobiography. Not sure how to truly end this, but I'm sure you'll get a load out of this one. Please make a video out of this, as I'd like to hear what you think. Or, if it will even get to the point, I know you're a busy guy, so I understand that it'll take a while to get back to me. I guess I just need some way to get this off my chest. If need be, I can go into more detail or clarify some things if I didn't say enough or if it seems like there's a gap in some places. No, dude, you covered it all. You covered all things that need to be said. Thanks in advance, SSM. You're doing many guys and men the world around a favor by explaining to us the life lessons we weren't taught or been through yet, and what to watch out for in people and women. Cheers, man. Okay, bro. So this guy is completely unhappy. He got married way too young. We learned all about her manipulation bullshit about all of a sudden she magically doesn't want to have sex anymore because of God. Okay? And all this other crap. Time to get out. Okay? And obviously this guy knows he has a lot of goals he wants to achieve and things he wants to do and realizes, he ain't gonna make it happen having dealing with her. Okay? So my best advice to this guy: you're not happy now. I guarantee you're not gonna be happy in a few years. You wouldn't be writing me if you were happy. So what I would do is, the second you're done this video, is I want you to get on your phone and I want you to go on Google and I want you to start looking up divorce attorneys in your area. Okay? Check out their different websites. Find one that seems appealing to you, and then email them and ask if they do a free consultation about a divorce. Okay? A lot of lawyers will do a free consult just to get the ball rolling. Okay? It won't cost you a dime. Then when you're done that and you find a lawyer that you want to go with, get on your phone and go into Google and erase your browsing history. So in case she happens to check out your phone when you're asleep or in the bathroom or in the shower, she doesn't see this and it starts a whole shitstorm. Okay? I want you to do that. Erase it all. Then I want you to meet with this lawyer and find out your options. Best case scenario, worst case scenario, and the most probable case scenario. So you know what you could potentially expect. Okay? And then I want you to start mentally preparing for this. Figure out your exit strategy. Figure out, when you have the talk, where you're going to go. Because obviously you're not going to be staying in the same house. That's going to be chaos. I'm assuming you're renting an apartment. So figure out how much time is left in the lease in terms of expenses and all that. And find a place you can stay. Whether if you have family nearby, see if you can stay with them. Or with your friends or something that you can get out of there. Okay? And when you are ready, you figure out your exit strategy, have the talk. Okay? And when you have that talk, basically ending the relationship, ending the marriage, you got to be as calm as possible. Do not give her any excuse or reason to say that you were yelling or being hurtful or blowing up at her, or any reason for her to make you out as the bad guy, because it will come back to bite you in the ass, mark my words. No matter how much crying she does, yelling, being emotional, begging, whatever it is, you got to keep your cool, okay? Seriously. Practice in the damn mirror this conversation before to make it possible to do this, if you have to. Excuse me. So you have the talk, you get your shit, move out. And then go through the process. Since you said that you obviously don't have many assets or many money, you obviously don't have a house, you don't have kids, this is really good, okay? So now pretty much it'll just boil down to some bullshit that you have in the apartment and obviously alimony, okay? You got to pay it, dude, but your life's happiness is so much more important. You're 24 years old. You've got your whole life ahead of you, okay? You may think that, I'm going to be 25 soon. I'm getting old. I thought the same thing when I turned 25. I thought I was getting old because I wasn't that carefree 18 or 19-year-old again anymore. No, trust me, I'm 43. It feels like yesterday I was 24. You got your whole life ahead of you, bro. So do what you got to do. Talk to the lawyer. Get the ball rolling. And I promise you, you will be so much happier 1 year down the road when this is over with, you're divorced, and you're moving on. You may be cursing and obviously pretty pissed off every time you have to write an alimony check every month. But you make your bed and you lie in it. And from that point on, dude, what I want you to do is I want you 100% focused on your purpose. I want you busting your ass at your job, taking on overtime, do whatever you got to do to be promoted, get better. Obviously, through time at FedEx, you can make more money as a driver, and saving your money, living as dirt cheap as possible, saving up your money, doing extra gigs like delivering pizzas or whatever on the weekend or whatever it happens to be. Save that money. Look at your budget, find ways that you can obviously cut bullshit out, save it, let it grow, invest it, what you got to do. All right? And start pursuing your goals. Join a gym. Get in great shape. Start studying things that you might want to do, because I know you're trying to figure out what you want to do. You know, you may find that you like working at FedEx, so stay there. I know a lot of people that work for FedEx are pretty happy with it. Same thing with like UPS. These drivers do pretty well after a while. And if that's not what you want, start figuring out what you want to do. Study for that. But don't quit FedEx. Keep doing your job, but doing whatever you got to do on the side to get you where you want to be. And you'll be in a much better place. And for God's sakes, do not go a couple years down the road of being on your purpose and meet some other chick and think that things will be different. And move in with her and do the same thing again. Because this happens again, I will not be here with an email or doing a video to help your ass out because you made the same mistake twice. You can get away with it once, but twice, no. That's what I suggest you do, bro, okay? So, all right, now quickly I'm going to go on to the second email. This is real quick. A guy thanking me for what I do and so forth. This guy says here, hello. I would like to say firstly that what you do is awesome. I subscribe to the channel and watch most of your videos. I do not live on YouTube, so I do miss a few. I want to say unequivocally that I support the way you handled yesterday's overweight guy-girl video. In case you didn't see it, guys, that was two different stories. One from a guy who was having a problem because his girlfriend put on all this weight, but wouldn't do anything about it. And another story about a woman whose boyfriend put on all this weight, and he wouldn't do anything about it. And I gave some real truth bombs there about how each of them should probably handle the situation, and any other you guys that should handle it too. He says, as a lifelong fat man who is now working toward getting to a normal weight, I can say with no reservation how much this sucks. Why anyone would celebrate loving yourself in such a state is beyond me. Men need to hear the truth, and sometimes, yes, a verbal kick in the pants. Yes. Guys, it's kind of like when you're a kid and you're in sports and your coach is barking at you to do things. When it comes to guys, to get us to get off our asses and be the best we can be, we need to have our pride attacked. We need to have our egos attacked. And we need a strong male role model to give us a good kick in the ass. And back in the old days, that would be our fathers, or our uncles, or our grandfathers, our older brothers, our coaches. But over the last few decades, with this whole softened down society now, where it's now seen as a negative thing for giving young boys and young men a kick in the ass, guess what? You have what we have now. And of course, all the single parent households with generally the mothers are raising the boy. Moms are generally softer with boys, and the moms aren't going to give them a kick in the ass that a father would. Guys need that, okay? And that's what I do here. That's why, for instance, in that video I did the other day, when there was a guy who gained all this weight and his girlfriend was writing in about it, and, I was speaking my mind about that, because that guy needs to get off his ass and take some action. And all you guys that aren't doing anything with your lives need to get off your asses and take action, okay? And you'll thank me down the road when things are so much better. He says here, I also want to say that I like the way it seems the channel has been trending for the past month or so, in that the more emphasis on men getting their life together and less on women ruining men's lives. I think the videos on female nature definitely have their place, but that place is within the frame of how men should be forging their own futures. Yeah, absolutely. I do rotate in terms of the videos I do. Sometimes I may go through a period of time where it's more about helping guys out and giving them a good kick in the ass to achieve their goals and telling guys there's so much they can achieve in life, it's not that hard. And I rotate between the stories about women and all that. I want to mix it up. What you do is important. Men need advice and motivation to rise to their potential. I know I did. It hurts to say, but I made just about every bad life decision that you warned about in my 20s, except cohabitate or marry. I ignored my health, got well over 100 pounds overweight, made poor career choices, and to top it off, pissed away all the income that I did receive. But through your channel and self-reflection, because I am a man, and we fix our problems logically, I have taken the steps to fix everything but career choices that won't come easily back. For this, I thank you, and I know that I can't be the only one that you've helped. Keep it up. Men are changing their lives because of you. EC. Well, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that email. I love hearing from you guys, and I like to hear that I'm helping you guys out. And great job trying to turn your life around. But it goes to show you, this guy admits. One of the first things you got to do, guys, is when you got problems, to actually own up and admit that you got problems. And own up to the fact that it's your fault. You did it. It is what it is. And then start looking at the situation and taking action to fix the situation. That's what men do. Men do not whine about it, make excuses, blame everybody else and every other thing for their problems. Men take action and get their shit together. So good job for this guy, okay? Believe me, I made my share of mistakes in my teens, my 20s, and guess what? My 30s and 40s. And I'm going to make mistakes in the future. But the point is, I try my best always to learn from my mistakes and move the hell on. I don't dwell on them. I don't focus on them. I learn from them and move on. So for this guy here, good for you on his journey to lose that weight and get his life together. He mentioned something about his career. He's not quite there yet. Well, keep at it. You'll get there. Figure it out. You will. And that goes for all you guys. If you're in a place in your life right now that you don't want to be, you and only you have the ability to change it. It's not your parents' job to change it. It's not your friend's job to change it. It's not your girlfriend or your wife if you're married to change it, or the government's job. It's yours, okay? So if there's something in your life right now that you don't like, that you're not happy with, it is your job when this video is over is to figure out a way to get off your ass and make it happen, okay? And I guarantee you, you will be so much happier when you're on the way to doing it. You may not be there yet, wherever you want to be, whatever goal you may have, but as long as every day you are taking some action to get yourself on that path, you're going to feel good. You're going to know you're on your way, okay? And that will keep you going. And even if times are hard, like if let's just say you want to make more money and you want a better job, but you got to obviously take some courses or certifications or I don't know what. Every day that you study, you know you're on that path to getting where you want to be. Even if you're making shitty money and have a crappy job that you hate, at least you go to that job every day knowing, you know what, it's not forever. I'm on the path to making this life better, okay? That's all you got to do. A little bit of action every single day, and eventually you will get there. I guarantee it. And when you get there and you're feeling good, then knowing that you accomplished that will motivate you to try other things to make your life better, and so on and so forth. That is the key. That is the path to success. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. For you guys, for the first story, for the guy that obviously the young guy got married, you guys have been through this. Please do share your wisdom, your experiences to help this guy, because I guarantee he's going to read every single comment and it will help him out. Young brother needs help. We got to help him. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.